Hi, everybody. I want to welcome you all. My name is Meredith Wienick. I am the Executive Vice President here at Harvard University. It's really nice to see a packed crowd today on such a very, very cold day. So we appreciate your coming to the Harvard Ed Portal, one of the university's gems in our community serving efforts here that we established with the Allston-Brighton community to really engage the university with the neighborhood in lifelong learning opportunities. I want to say a big thank you to our partners at the City of Boston and the Wu administration for allowing us to host today's event and for such an exciting occasion. I know all of you are here because you're part of a very important program, and we're excited to celebrate you. I want to welcome, I think, Representative Consalvo, who is here with us today, right in front here. Thank you for being with us. We're really excited. We're delighted to celebrate this milestone with all of you. These announcements, the announcement of these awards is not just financially significant, but the announcement is a testament to the hard work and dedication of everyone involved in the effort to create and preserve housing throughout the city of Boston. And no one has done more for the housing in the city of Boston than our Chief of Housing, Sheila Dillon, who I will introduce in just a moment. At a time when affordable housing need has never been greater, these awards are an important step forward. We're proud to partner in this effort, and I want to recognize that it takes a village to support these types of projects. All of you have so many partners, including the city, and we're really lucky to have such terrific partners all across our neighborhoods. As a longtime member of the Allston-Brighton community, Harvard has developed a complex housing strategy that adapts to the dynamic needs of city requirements and city residents, and we are excited to be involved in enabling two of the projects that will be announced today, both the Hill Memorial Baptist Church and 65 Seattle Street projects. Together, these two projects represent nearly 100 units of affordable housing in Allston, and they exemplify what we can activate through creativity, responsiveness, and partnership. And I'm particularly connected, you might think this is strange, to the Hill Memorial Baptist Church because I lived on Easton Street for a while, and so it's a marker I know well. As Harvard's campus continues to transform, we remain committed to linkage payments and the linkage program, but we know that there are other creative ways in which we can support the city's strategy, and that the city is employing every tool in its toolbox to ensure that there is more affordable housing all across our community. It's exciting for Allston, and we are excited to continue our collaboration. And without further ado, I will introduce Sheila Dillon, the Mayor's Chief of Housing.
Thank you, Meredith. I really want to thank Harvard. I was thinking for three reasons. One, they provided land for one of the projects getting awarded today. They provided financing for another one of the projects being financed today. And to the best of my knowledge, they house all of their undergraduate students. So a round of applause for Harvard. So it's wonderful to be here with you today to announce this year's funding awards, which will create over 637 new homes across Boston that are income restricted and affordable. These funding awards will continue the work that Mayor Wu started when she took office. In the past 3 years, we have built more affordable housing and made more resources available for affordable housing than in the past 25 years. So, round for Mayor Wu and her administration. And while many towns are trying to block the creation of housing, and gosh forbid, income-restricted housing, Mayor Wu and her team are working hard to make sure that our residents can afford to stay here. A few words of appreciation, first and foremost, to you all. You responded to our RFP, our request for proposals, and our funding awards because you seized an opportunity out there. You saw a great development idea. You put together quality applications. You agreed to make your developments carbon neutral and have made commitments to ensure that local businesses, local Boston businesses, are benefiting from this economic activity. Your housing developments will not only house our residents, but they'll contribute to Boston's climate goals and economic equity goals. So thank you for all that you have done through this funding round. I also want to thank the very talented team at the Mayor's Office of Housing. They spent weeks, maybe months, weeks going over these applications very, very carefully, underwriting them, raising issues, getting resolution to those issues. Specifically, I want to call out Chris O'Keefe, who oversees the Neighborhood Housing Group, and Rick Wilson, who oversees our A&F department, always making sure that we're not spending money that we don't have. I also need to acknowledge other city departments that have helped with all of these projects. The planning department, most of these have gone through Article 88 community process. So I really want to thank the planning department for their thoughtful work in guiding us through and making these proposals better. I see Tanya Del Rio here from ISD, who has helped shepherd these projects through ZBA and will help these projects get permitted. And I also saw Emily Shea, who really is always pushing us, Commissioner Emily Shea from Age Strong, to do more housing for our older adults. So thank you all. And as many of you know, if not all of you know, a lot of these projects get different funding sources from different places, a lot with volunteer boards that are also reviewing. Community Preservation Act and/or linkage funding. Thank you to the committed members of the Community Preservation Committee and the Neighborhood Housing Trust for putting in countless hours to review and shape these developments. A special thank you to Thaddean Brown. I saw Thaddean, there you are, Thaddean. Director of the CPA office, CPC Chair Felicia Jacques, and Catherine Hardaway, who chairs the Neighborhood Housing Trust. So we have provided city funding. Now these projects go forth and they leverage our city funding and apply for state and other private resources. I want to thank our state partners, because I'm going to assume that they're going to fund a lot of these projects first time, at least the second time in. We're very grateful for our relationship with the Executive Office of Housing and Livable Communities, and our private funders, PCI, Mass Capital, MHP Fund, LISC, MHIC, Mass Housing, and CDAC, and there are more. And you will all make your ways to their offices, so I really want to thank them for the anticipated partnership. So while the mayor is not here today for very, very, very legitimate, decent reasons, she is very enthusiastic about this funding round, has been fully briefed, and is very supportive of these funding awards. But she did send someone in her stead, and I am very, very, very pleased to invite up Tiffany Chu, the mayor's chief of staff, to say a few words. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. It is such an honor to be here today, and I wanted to thank everybody for joining us on this extremely cold morning. Really excited to be here on behalf of the mayor. She's currently at home nursing baby Mira. I just saw her on a Zoom call, and Mira's already been to her first community meeting on property taxes, so she's doing very well. I want to give also a special thank you to Meredith Weinick and the entire Harvard team for hosting us in this beautiful space and for your ongoing collaboration alongside the Neighborhood Housing Trust, the Community Preservation Committee, and all of our housing partners and community members here today who work day in and day out to make Boston a home for everyone. It truly takes a village. I also want to give a shout out to some of those partners here today, including the ones on stage, Dariella Vion-Maga, President and founder of DVM Housing Partners, Suneeth John, Deputy Director and Head of Real Estate for Fenway CDC, and we're going to hear from both of them shortly. And of course, big thank you to Rep. Consalvo, who remains supportive in every single possible way. So we're all here, big picture, to celebrate and reaffirm our commitment to affordable housing. And today, through our Office of Housing, Mayor Wu is investing more than $64 million across 12 amazing projects. This funding, as Sheila mentioned, will help create and preserve more than 600 units of income-restricted housing across 8 neighborhoods: Alton-Brighton, Chinatown, Dorchester, Fenway, Jamaica Plain, Mattapan, Mission Hill, and Roxbury. We know that the housing crisis is one of the biggest sources of stress for families in our city. And that's why every action we need to take creates more housing production and ensures affordability. The 12 projects receiving funding here today include affordable units for rent and purchase, affordable housing, senior housing, supportive housing, and will be built on both public and private land. All of this is just one part of the amazing work from our Office of Housing, and in the first 3 years of our administration, Mayor Wu has invested more than $295 million into affordable housing, building 3,000 new units and permitting nearly 2,500 more, offered nearly 2 million square feet of city-owned land to developers to build out affordable housing, made it easier to build new homes by rezoning more of the city in the last 2 years than in the last 2 decades, eliminated barriers, creating supports and resources to get ADUs built and keep families together, and, my favorite, launched our Office to Residential program to create nearly 700 units of housing downtown, with more and more applications still rolling in. Today, we're covering all of this incredible progress in our new housing report, which I think is being circulated, so please take a look. And in conclusion, stable housing is the foundation of a safer, healthier, more affordable city for all of our residents, which is why, since taking office, Mayor Wu has directed every single city department to shepherd every resource we have to make Boston a home for everyone. And we're excited to continue that work of the last few years, where we've created more affordable housing than in a generation, ensured more families become homeowners than ever before, and implemented policies to reduce home energy costs for residents. Investments like the one we're celebrating here today ensure that there's a pipeline, a continuous pipeline, of all the innovative work that our team is doing to preserve affordability, boost homeownership, and fight displacement. Now I'd like to pass it on to Dariela Villon-Maga. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Dariela Villon-Maga of DVM Housing Partners, lifelong Boston resident and founder of DVM Housing Partners. We're a Roxbury-based, Black-owned real estate development firm committed to creating and preserving affordable housing in the city of Boston. It's an incredible honor to accept this funding award from the Mayor's Office of Housing on behalf of our team. This moment is a testament to the vision we share for Mission Hill: 48 units of affordable homeownership that will provide families with a place to call their own in a neighborhood that is evolving quickly. Alongside these homes, we'll be creating 18,000 square feet of recreational space and 10,000 square feet of community gardens, places for neighbors to connect and grow together. I want to take a moment to highlight the critical role of affordable homeownership in shaping a strong and stable Boston. Affordable homeownership is not just about building houses. It's about building wealth and opportunity. It's about giving families the chance to build equity, invest in their futures, and pass on those assets to future generations. The results speak for themselves. Families with access to affordable homeownership are more likely to stay in the community, contribute to local schools and businesses, and create a foundation for long-term stability. That is why I want to strongly encourage the city to continue to invest in affordable homeownership. The impact is lasting and transformative, not just for the individual families, but for the neighborhoods as a whole. By supporting projects like ours, we ensure that Mission Hill and other communities across Boston remain accessible to a diverse range of families, whether it's first-time homebuyers, working parents, or long-term residents. I'd like to acknowledge my incredible partners who are making this possible with me: Kevin McGuire of Oxbow Urban, Jonathan Garland of JGE Development. Their leadership, vision, and commitment to a community-driven development has been essential to getting us here today. I'm proud to work alongside them to make sure this project not only meets the housing needs of Mission Hill, but also reflects the values of inclusivity, sustainability, and connection. Congratulations to the other development teams funded today. This moment reflects what we can accomplish when the public and private sectors work together with the community's best interests at heart. Thank you again to the Mayor's Office of Housing for your continued leadership. Together, we can continue to create housing that builds stronger communities, healthier families, and a more equitable Boston. Thank you.
Hello and good morning. I'm Suneet John, Deputy Director and Head of Real Estate at Fenway CDC. And thank you for the opportunity to speak at this celebration. We at the Fenway CDC are delighted to have been awarded for our 112 Queensbury project, which is a 24-unit rental project in the Fenway. In the Fenway, we say we squeezed units out of parking lots. So this is 24 units on a 4,300 square feet parcel of land, and that is 0.1 acre. And before that, I should say we are slipping in our standards. Before that, we had 27 units on 3,500 square feet. That is 0.08 acre of land. So, but I want to start with congratulating everybody in this room. All the developers who were awarded funding and all the people. The affordable housing family is a very small family, and at the expense of my in-laws, I see them more than my in-laws, and they stay with me. This congratulations extends to not only the real estate teams in these departments. Shout out to Fenway CDC's real estate team, including all four of them, and our ED and our co-op from Northeastern, Joella. There are departments, organizations like community organizing, policy, the programming and services. They all come together to make this happen, the affordable housing, and keeping people housed. And of course, we are thankful for our resident leaders, the community leaders, and other organizations. For example, the Fenway has 6 or 7 other organizations, all come together during the permitting process. We are thankful for electeds like our Representative Gonzalvo, and above all, I want to thank City and MOH for its commitment to make Boston equitable for all. The MOH team makes magic. They do amazing things, and we appreciate that every moment that we do our vision, but the support and the commitment you bring to the table is what makes this happen. Our success is all of your success, and we thank MOH and the city for this event and all that we have been trying to achieve under Mayor Wu's tenure and commitment. Thank you all.
And now the moment you've been waiting for. Before I do that, though, I do want to recognize Councillor Santana has joined us in the back. Thank you. Always a big supporter of affordable housing. And I'm going to call her up in a little bit, but I probably should have acknowledged just her role as a city partner. Administrator Bach is here. There she is. Very good. But she's also a recipient, so she'll be coming up in a little bit. So, but anyways, let's start. So. I'm going to read off the projects that got funded. If the key members of the development team could come up, you get an envelope and a letter from Chris. It becomes official. And then if you could stay up here, maybe we'll push the chairs back a little bit, and then we'll take a group photo versus trying to get a photo after each and every stop. So if that sounds okay, we'll start. In Dorchester, wait a minute. In Alston, Brighton, and before I mention the projects, Councillor Braden is not here, but I do just want to call her out and call out her office. Just an ally in making sure that Alston and Brighton gets more affordable housing. She wasn't able to join us today, but I want to acknowledge her work. Okay, 65 Seattle Street will be developed by Urbanica on land that is currently owned by Harvard University, and this project will create 43 affordable homeownership units. Okay. Alston Senior Housing on the Hill, being developed by the Alston Brighton Community Development Corporation, will transform the historic Hill Memorial Baptist Church into 49 affordable rental units for older Bostonians and provide significant community space. Also in Alston, Ashford Street Lodging House. This very important resource will be preserved as affordable housing and will undergo a deep energy retrofit and renovation, preserving the asset for decades. And the community builders and the Boston Housing Authority will begin the redevelopment, the long-awaited redevelopment of Faneuil Garden Apartments. This first phase, being funded through this award, will develop 114 units, 57 replacement, and 57 new units. And I do really want to thank the BHA for looking at all of their assets, all of their land, saying, yes, we need to replace obsolete units, but we also can create more. So give it up to the administrator. In Chinatown and the South End, right on the border, we have a wonderful development taking shape at 50 Harold Street, a mixed-use development being led by Beacon Communities and the Chinese Consolidated Benevolent Association. It will create 117 affordable rental units, and it's making way for a new retail establishment on the lower floors. Thanks. In Dorchester, at 555-559 Columbia Road, an innovative project by Civico Development. It will build 33 affordable homeownership units co-located with the Upham's Corner Boston Public Library branch. Very exciting. We have 3 projects right now that we're working closely with a lot of city departments on, where we're combining new libraries with housing. So very, very exciting development. Dot Block Phase 2, being developed by Samuels and Associates, will create 84 affordable rental units, including 22 inclusionary development units, jump-starting really a whole very large next phase at the Dot Block. In the Fenway, we have a project at 112 Queensberry Street, a small site, but a mighty one. This project will create 24 new affordable rental units on a site that's been vacant for way too long. So thank you, Fenway. My notes say in Jamaica Plain, I think it's Jamaica Plain / Mission Hill, the Envision Hotel, located at 81 South Huntington Avenue, will be acquired and renovated by Victory Programs. The hotel, currently operating as an emergency shelter, will transition into 41 permanent supportive housing units for individuals experiencing homelessness and many housing barriers. So thank you to Victory. In Mattapan, Mission Hill Pathways, using city-owned land, ODJ Development will build 48 affordable homeownership units. This development will also include open space and urban farming opportunities. I want to thank the Mission Hill and JP communities for really sticking with this project and the new development team that's going to make this happen. It's a beautiful development, and we're very excited to see it advance. And finally, in Roxbury, 75 and 86 Marcellus Street will create 20 new homeownership units on city-owned land. This project, led by Urbanica again, and the Highland Park Community Development Land Trust. I would be amiss if I didn't really acknowledge the Highland Park PRC, the community group that has worked tirelessly with the city to make sure that the surplus land in Highland Park is developed with a lot of community input. So thank you for the partnership. Oh, Olmsted. And look at you sitting over there. Oh my gosh. You're never quiet. You're never quiet. Oh my gosh, where are you? Okay, I know what it is. So Lena Park and New Boston has teamed up to do yet another phase of home ownership on the old Boston State site. And if you've driven by Olmsted Green or that, you will see just a new development, a new neighborhood, coming to life. And if you walk around, people love living there. And this is just going to take what is already so good and make it available to more people. So thank you, Jerry, for your work on that. And I would never forget you. So that sort of wraps up this year's major funding round. Of course, we have different categories that we receive on rolling basis, but now it is on them and on us and all of you to advance these projects as quickly as we can so we can get our residents into these beautiful new units. Thank you so much. Picture?
Henry, do you want to come? Councilor Santana and Rep. Consalvo, do you want to come up for a picture? All right.